Hi everyone, part 2 of my video series in Are Teslas Affordable in Australia is going to focus on the luxury car tax. And the question that we're going to ask today is luxury car tax holding back EV adoption in Australia? Let's dig into some numbers and find out. So the first number that I had to go and find was, well, how many new cars are sold in Australia? I found this via a car advice site. That there's just over 1 million cars sold in 2019, the top 20 brands there, starting at Toyota and ending at MG. Interestingly, that about 8,000 cars gets you into the top 20, so it will be very interesting to see if Tesla actually, or an EV of any brand, actually gets into the top 20 in 2020. Breaking that down further, what we needed to do was work out, well, which of these cars are subject to luxury car tax. I couldn't find it on the Australian Tax Office website or anywhere else. So what I've actually done here is taken everyone that could possibly be impacted by luxury car tax, and that is medium cars over $60,000, large cars obviously over $70,000, sports cars less than $80,000. I've included all of those. Sports cars $80,000 to $200,000, obviously they're included. Onto the next page of category. Medium SUVs at greater than 60,000, obviously most of those will be, but not all. Large SUVs over 70,000, you'd expect that they would all be included unless some of them were highly fuel efficient, which perhaps the BMW X5 qualifies and things like that. Upper large SUVs less than $100,000 and upper large SUVs at greater than $100,000. So grabbing all of those, and 100% of all of those, haven't taken a percentage of any because I don't know the statistics, divided by the number of cars that were sold, we come out with a total possible market impact of 9%. Every car, every category, every market that could potentially be equals 9%. So I think that number's probably high. It's probably more like 5%, but I really don't have the data to support it, so let's go with the high number. So what is the LCT impact then? So we need to compare that with the two Teslas that do attract luxury car tax, which is the long range and the performance model. So let's dig in and have a little bit of a look at the long range and the performance model and their impact on luxury car tax. So if you believe that you need a long range Tesla for whatever reason, whether you like the better stereo, whether you want the bigger range or something like that, your luxury car tax is going to range depending on whether you order it with full self-driving, depending on what colour you order it in, but it's only going to range anywhere from 3.8% of the total driveway price to 6.3% of the total driveway price. Not really that much of a big impact. When we take that up to the performance one, and obviously if we add, I've taken on the left-hand side with the long range, I took the cheapest variant, so that was white with no full self-driving. On the right-hand side here, I've taken a performance in red with full self-driving and the white interior. So that peaks at 8% of the total cost of the car. But if you remove back to white, back to black interior, remove full self-driving, you come down to 5.6%. So in essence, I can't see that luxury car tax, although I don't agree with it, is going to impact these purchases at all. If you're going to buy a $93,000 driveway car, certainly $3,000 of additional luxury car tax shouldn't be the determining factor that's stopping you from buying that. If you are not buying a long-range Tesla Model 3 because of that, you probably shouldn't be buying a $93,000 car, to be quite frank. And you probably should look at actually pulling the trigger sooner rather than later, as the Australian dollar is currently deteriorating, which will see most likely a price bump in Teslas in Australia with the next update. So summing this all up, there's three major cars that are available in the Australian market today that don't attract luxury car tax. That is the Hyundai Ioniq, which has had great reviews, which has got an estimated driveway price of $52,000. The Nissan Leaf with a driveway price of $54,000. Obviously that will change with the spec that you want, the colour you want, things like that, but it's never going to attract luxury car price at that. And then I've spec'd up the Tesla Standard Range Plus in red without full self-driving in Queensland, and it still doesn't attract luxury car tax at that rate. So summing this one up, I believe that luxury car tax has no meaningful impact on the adoption of battery electric vehicles in Australia. It's actually the price of battery electric vehicles in Australia that's the adoption problem. Because as we've seen, that luxury car tax represents less than 9% of vehicle sales in Australia. And that would be, if electric vehicles took all of that market share, it would still only move the market by 9%. To move the market, we need to move into affordable battery electric vehicles. So that is the $50,000 and under category, and most likely the $40,000 or $30,000 and under category, which may still be a couple of years away at this point. Hope you enjoyed the videos. Look forward to your comments below.